Hello and welcome to our first time setup guide. So once you've unpacked your machine, you'll find you've got four main components: the system itself, the transformer part of your power supply, the battery, and an adapter for the UK region. Before you plug in and play, give the machine a quick inspection. Manufacturing defects and transit damage do occur on occasion, and it's best to report these as soon as possible after receiving the item. So, the keys are all mounted properly, the touchpad buttons feel okay, there's no obvious issues with the panel. Check all the ports look okay, and check the underside of the machine as well. Okay, next step in the setup is to insert the battery. Yours might fit in differently to this, but you should have an instruction sheet with your machine on how to fit it properly. So next, take the cable ties off your power leads and connect the two parts together. Once you've done this, plug the power supply in. The battery may have about 10% charge already, but it's best to keep the machine plugged in throughout the setup. Once you plug the power lead in, just give it a quick check, make sure it's not loose in the port at all. So, now that's plugged in, open up the machine and power it on. The Windows Setup utility should start after a short while. Okay, you might not be able to read the text on the screen, but it's asking for the default language and region as well as the keyboard layout. Don't just click next at this stage, English isn't always the default language. So selecting the UK keyboard layout is fine, but if you want the option for Welsh characters and accents, etc., then choose UK Extended and click Next. If you accidentally choose a different keyboard layout like US, it can be changed in Control Panel later, so don't worry about that. So next, accept the Windows license terms. I'm going to skip the manufacturer registration stage. Now, pick a name for your PC. This isn't the username, it's just used to identify your machine on the network. So, Office, you can name it Office. It's going to be used in the living room, you get the idea. You can connect to a wireless network at this point, or you can skip it and do it later. Using the Express settings at this stage is fine. It does turn automatic updates on, which every once in a while can cause problems, but we address this in another video, which will be linked to later on. Now, pick your username. You can set a password if you like, but performing updates requires restarts, so if you don't put a password in for now, it'll mean it gets through the process a bit quicker. If you're on Windows 8, your machine will give you a bit of a quick intro to sort of help you get started with it. Okay, and here's your start screen. If your machine seems a bit sluggish at this point, it's probably still finalizing some of the bundled software that comes installed on it. So just be patient at this point. Okay, when we switch to the desktop, you can see various programs pre-installed. Many of these are trial versions to tempt you to buy the full suite. McAfee's one of these. You can use this trial until it expires if you like. We often find it to be a very heavy running program which slows your machine down. So we usually advise replacing it with either F-Secure or Kaspersky. There are free antiviruses out there, but the paid ones give you better security in general. So back on the start screen, there's various tiles here. These can all be changed to programs you use frequently. Just have a sort of a leaf through your settings to find out how to do that. You can do various personalizations through settings. So if you open your charm bar and select settings, then pick change PC settings to open that. Right. Here you can see you can change your background and your lock screen, etc., etc. If you want to set or change your password, go to the users heading to see the options for that there. You can set up your account with the Windows Live account, which will bring your emails and any Xbox updates through on the start screen, and it'll allow you to download apps from the Microsoft Store as well. For connecting to Wi-Fi, this again is done through the charm bar. So open that up, go to settings. There you can see available networks. Your wireless security key is usually listed on the bottom of your router if you haven't changed it. Sharing on or off is dependent on whether you want other people on your network to access files on your machine. The next two stages to getting your machine up and running smoothly is to perform Windows updates and driver updates. For best practice on performing Windows updates, click the link on your screen to view our separate guide on that process. And for driver updates, again, click the link displayed. Another function of your machine to be aware of is the built-in keyboard shortcuts. These allow you to turn things like your Wi-Fi and your touchpad on and off with the touch of a button. If you want to click the link on your screen, then we've got another video on how to identify these. We hope this guide's been useful. If you have any questions, please use the Contact Us link listed in the video description.